turned up at Kasarani Stadium. They left the stadium, but we still have a sizable number that is still here. And when the leaders were viewing the body of the late Honorable the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, what happened is that we saw the crowd. They moved from the terraces and they came to the middle of the pitch where they lined up, and we thought they'll be allowed to view the body. But until now, for the last about 30 minutes, there's no clear communication on whether they'll be allowed inside to be able to view the body. What is happening at the moment, there's a standoff. You can see there are those who have lined up, and if my cameraman can just show you closer to the VIP, you can see there are a number of security officers, majorly the GS2 security officers, who are blocking a good number of people who are actually going upstairs to try and access the VIP section where the body of the late Right Honorable former Prime Minister is lying in state. At the moment, Ayub, let me say it's a standoff. We are not yet sure. We have seen a number of leaders up there trying to calm the crowd. But at the moment, Ayub, there is no clear communication on whether they'll be allowed to go inside and access the area where the body of the late former Prime Minister is lying in state. But at the moment, Ayub, we are camping here. We are trying to see how the situation will be, and we'll be bringing you up to speed with what will be happening, Ayub.
Gatete, thank you. Much appreciated for the brief assessment that you had given us. Still, we are keeping an eye on the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, and waiting for, or keeping an eye in that regard, for when the members of the public will be allowed to also view the body of the former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga. And on your screens at the moment is the Embakasi MP, East MP Babu Owino, who is seemed to be giving some directions to a member of the security agencies. A while ago, he was in the company of his colleague lawmaker Millie, as the supporters of the former Prime Minister and members of the public gather, awaiting when they will be allowed to see the man they had cherished for so long. Listening to the public and perhaps what they are saying, our cameras still trained on whether they will be allowed through the entrance. The lawmakers were allowed to pay their respects to the former Prime Minister. A representation, of course, which was across board, including former President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Chief of the Defense Forces, General Charles Kahariri, and the three commanders of the three services, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army, the cabinet secretaries that we had seen, and also the leadership of the ODM party. Quite interesting scenes that we are seeing, and we'll be keeping an eye here on Kasarani to see what happens next. And also in Bondo, where on Sunday the former Prime Minister will be laid to rest. We'll give you the updates as they develop, and Kasarani will be our focal point of attention and where our cameras are. Yes, Kidi. Finally, the reality seems to be setting in.
I usually the floor to my brother Materi.
Okay, please.
Yeah, I know it's quite difficult, a very, very difficult moment for both of us, with the experience that we had with the former Prime Minister. And immediately the coffin was presented in readiness for viewing. Beside it was President Ruto, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, then Mama Aida was there. And the thought that immediately rang in my mind is, where is Raila? that is the kind of history, that is the kind of life that we are used to. In the history of post-multi-party Kenya, from 1994 onwards, Raila has always been very consistent, very permanent, very present in all our national decisive moments, be it celebrations, be it trying times. Raila has always been there. And therefore, I can feel what my other supporters of Baba are feeling, the emptiness that comes with it, the denial of even accepting that Mzee is departed from our midst is slowly sinking in. And it's very, very difficult given the history that he has left behind for his shoes to be filled. I'm so sure with the history that he has given us for over 31 years, because Raila from 1982, he has been active in politics. That would give him almost 40-something years, going into detention from 1982 to 1986, being released for a short time, then going back again in detention from 1989 to 1991. He comes out, he has to flee because there was a rumor that again he was to be arrested and detained again. He goes to Norway, he comes back, joins the father and the young Turks to fight for multi-party democracy. He's again very present in our lives in 1997 when he contests the first time for the presidency against Moi. He comes back again to contest in 2007, 2022, 2017. So he has been a permanent feature in our history, and therefore you can feel the emptiness that comes with that, because this is of someone, the way you aptly captured it, Ayub, who has been a buffer against authoritarianism. And in our interaction, even with the young people there, they were like, who will be there to defend us? When push comes to shove, who will be there to defend us that now Baba is not around? So you can understand the emptiness that comes with that. You can understand the kind of sadness that it comes with that. You can understand why it is quite emotional even for us to figure out what is going to happen next. But gallantly, he has left behind sons and daughters who he has mentored, who he has trained, and who he has shown the ropes of leadership, who are able to take up the task to fill his shoes, though it is not going to be easy.
And Kidi, Sir Winston Churchill once said that there are politicians who make the weather, and certainly Raila Odinga was among that list, is it?
That goes without saying, because I think, again, to build up on what Winston Churchill said, William King that went into that happened during President Kibaki and the first phase of the implementation. And remember, for 8 of the 10 years when President Kibaki was in office, road ministry was solidly under the belt of Raila Odinga. The first 3 years as minister himself, and when he was prime minister, he appointed both Kipkalia Kones and Franklin Bett to take care of the roads docket, and they did a wonderful job. Today, driving around Nairobi, I can't imagine how driving across Nairobi was before the bypasses that we see